again, welcome to another video. And in today's video, we are gonna start this like a vertical takeoff on the F-45A. If I'm correct, it's called F-45A, yeah. So I'm gonna walk you guys through the process step by step and explain you like the three important things that you need to keep in mind while taking off with the F-45A. But going before that, I would show you again the usual startup steps and how we go along with the journey with taking off and things that you need to keep in mind before you take off. And also, I'm going to show in this video how you use the countermeasure systems, which is chaff and flares. And then again, the regular drill, we take off, we come back, use chaff and stuff, get beautiful shots in the sky, and land back. So, for that, I would begin my process, and yeah, my battery started going crazy. I need to put my APU on. I'll just trigger it before we go on to anything else. So yeah, I just turned my APU on so it keeps supplying some power to my battery. And once the APU settles down, I will turn on the engines, which we have right here. Bing bing. I will turn my HMC on. I have my MFDs on today just because I wanted to see how it records. And yeah, as you can see, something very important right here, the fuel. If you see the fuel drain, it's alright, but the internal fuel that I have is less than a full. You know, I would say at 60% or so, or 70%, but it is less. It is very important to remember this because on the other plane that can vertically take off, I am unable to remember its name because honestly I am very new to the game and I really can't remember all the names. But on the other plane, it can take off because it has two engines. Now we gotta keep in mind, this plane of ours only has one. So the power that it generates is quite less. It is good for a normal takeoff, but for a vertical takeoff, I would say it is alright. But since it's a full-scale plane, we need to realize these things. That we have to manage the weight of the plane. We have to manage how the plane takes off, and we have to consider all these factors while taking off with an F-45A. Vertically taking off with an F-45A. Now, a few things before we take off. There are three things that we always need to remember before we take off vertically. Since we go vertically, we are gonna basically, instead of going the normal way, like you go ahead and then you take off and go whee, la la land, beautiful. No. Today what we are gonna do is we are gonna take off directly from this position up in the sky, just like a helicopter does. And for those things, we have some special requirements. We need to keep in mind a few things. As of now, the first thing I told you is the fuel to keep the overall weight of the plane less. I can also show you something more. You see, I only have 2 missiles and a machine gun loaded. It also helps. So reducing the amount of missiles that you have also helps in maintaining the overall weight of the plane. Also, today we have a beautiful livery. I think you must have seen in a few cinematic shots before, but I'll look around it later. And yeah, so the first thing is managing overall weight for a vertical takeoff session. Then the second thing, as you can see over there, there are two important things right next to each other. One that says tilt and one that has our usual thrust meter, basically how much thrust we're applying. But you can see a marking in the middle, right? There's a middle mark that stands out. This mark in the middle is basically what tells you how you're gonna elevate on a certain height. So if you take the thrust and shift it to the middle marker, you know if you're flying up here, you will stay up here. If you want to go higher than that, you need to take your thrust a bit above the level, like bit above this level, and it will fly higher. I am sorry, I shouldn't do these tricks because the engine is gonna just push me forward. And yeah, if you go above the middle mark over there, it raises your elevation level to a certain, to a certain extent. It starts elevating you. If you again reach a certain point where you want to stabilize your height, you bring it back to the middle marker and it stabilizes there. If you go below the middle marker, it starts pushing you down. It starts bringing your airplane down slowly, but again, vertically, in the height that we are, like, in the way that we are coming down as a helicopter again. Next to it is a tilt meter. Now, what a tilt meter is, your engine is a thrust vector engine. It basically can move up and down. I'm not sure if this one can move left and right, but usually it can move up and down. And the tilt basically shows which way your main thruster would be facing. So if it's on tilt 0, it is facing backwards, which means the force that it applies, or the thrust that it applies, the engine combusts towards the outside, towards the back of the plane, pushing the plane forward. If I make it to 90 degree, the engine starts facing down, but the thrust that it applies pushes the plane upwards. It's not that hard, it's quite easy, but I'm just explaining what it means. So for that, I have to select the tilt option and make it to 90 degrees so it can go up instead of going straight ahead for a normal takeoff. Foremost and the last thing, which is quite important according to me if you're new to the game, and that thing is vertical control autopilot. This button right here. This button will help you maintain the stability of the plane while you take off, while you land, while you are vertical in any way. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend turning it on. I guess you can turn it on even before taking off, so it helps you take off once you tilt the plane 90. Yeah, and this thing, I tell you, if you're new to the game, please do not underestimate this thing. Please use it. I am not sure how many people I have seen take off without this thing on, but if I do it, it's quite skillful, to be honest. So yeah, we start with turning the vertical control autopilot on. Now that this is on, you see the tilt just automatically went up. If this is not on, and if I had to make the tilt go 90 by myself, what I would do is hold on to throttle, and I will first bring it down completely. Hold on to throttle and use the thumbstick on your throttle to basically make the tilt go up or down. If you want the tilt to go from 0 to 90, you pull the thumbstick back towards you. If you want to go in the other order, you push the thumbstick away from you, push the thumbstick forward, and that is how you manage that. So I will quickly just do 90 degrees, and I will start applying some throttle. And as you can see, once I reach the middle height, I will quickly just turn the vertical control autopilot on, so it forces the plane to stay stable. It applies counter axis picking up, I don't have to do anything here. The moment I touch this, the autopilot goes off. I can apply some more power, and we can see. I would rather just take off without applying autopilot, so it takes off straight at 90. But I'm still not sure why it's not taking off. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, but is it because of the parking brake? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think parking brake should affect it in any way, since it is a vertical takeoff and not going ahead or going back, But we'll see. I'm sorry to keep you guys holding on for so long, but this is quite a tough thing for me as well. Like, I'm not quite accustomed to vertical takeoffs just yet. So what I'll do is I'll quickly just set it to 90. I'll turn the vertical pilot off, and I will give my full thrusters, and hopefully we lift off. Yeah, perfect. Now once we're at a certain height, I will quickly turn this on so it manages the balance, or manages the inclination of the plane. And now you see, I bring it to the middle, so I stay at this level. If I push it higher, it will start taking me a bit higher. And here, if I bring it to middle, it keeps me stable at this height. Now I can use the joystick as a normal controller, how we control helicopters, and this would move me around as if I'm riding a helicopter instead of a plane. I can use the rudders, basically twisting the joystick to look around real quick, and I don't have to worry about crashing this thing or making this thing go off control or something, because the autopilot, the vertical control autopilot, is going to manage that for me. It's going to look after how I turn, how I twist, anything. Its main job is basically to keep me from going down or crashing myself down. And you can see in different modes how I'm floating above the air. You see that? That's very cool. That is a very cool feature of this plane, to say the very least, you know? Whereas it's... You see how my plane turns around, how I can look around without moving too much, without, you know, having accelerated movements or something like that. Now, if I have to go straight, if I have to go, you know, as in a normal flight, how would I do it? If I have to go in a normal flight, I will show you guys real quick. What I basically have to do is change the tilt angle from 90 to 0, so I can continue my flight to go not so vertical. And I will start doing that by holding this and then applying throttle and then pulling back the angle slowly. But for that as well, I need to change. I can keep the vertical autopilot on for a certain time until it settles down me into a complete, you know, forward motion. And after I do that, after a while it goes off by itself.
Autopilot disengaged.
Yeah, you see? Now I just put on my afterburners. I take off my landing gear. I'm sorry, I should have done my landing gear earlier, but I did not. I actually forgot about it. And yeah, I can take my brake off as well. But we are in a regular flight now. You see, we are going this way, full speed, since afterburner is also on. And I would just quickly go around. Yeah, and we are in a normal flight. In a normal motion flight. 440 knots is the speed today. Is the speed now. And yeah, we are in a stable flight. Beautiful. Beautiful thing. Tell me, what else do you need? Vertically taking off, a stable flight, and beautiful weather. Now we come to the countermeasure system. Oh my god, you guys are gonna love this. I hope you guys love this at least. It looks really beautiful to see. It is very useful, as I explained in my previous videos. Chaff is for radar missiles. Flare is for heat-seeking missiles. And both of these are quite useful if used correctly, if used properly. But I'm not here to show you how I avoid missiles using them, because honestly I'm still not good myself. Let me tell you that. Look at me. See, I forgot. I just fly this plane because it looks cool. I fly things around because it looks cool. I wear this, you know, you get it. I am just amazed by the beauty of this game itself. But I will show you how you can deploy the countermeasure system and how it actually looks like once you do that, you know, when you deploy the countermeasure system, because it looks quite beautiful as well. It's quite appealing of a thing, you know. So yeah, I will start lowering my height a bit so we can do this beautiful flybys. But I will put myself to a nice random mode. Yeah, and now we go on to beautiful flight. So applying countermeasures is basically holding your throttle with the left grip and then using the button. I am not sure what it is. It is, I guess, the Y button on your joystick. I'm using Quest, so it's Y on this one. And this is how it looks like once you use chaffs and flare. Oh my god, so beautiful. Now this is single mode, so I have to press every single time that I release the chaff or a flare, you know. Every time I am releasing one, I am pressing the button myself. But you can do it on a normal mode as well, and I would show you how to do it on a normal mode, like how I can do it on a steady state, you know, how I can make sure that it is, how do I say, in a form, in a proper order, or you know, how I want it. So again, we come here to SMS, store management system. We go to CMS, which is countermeasure system, and we see release rate. From here, we turn on either 30, 60, 120, 240, 480, 960, either one. Okay, I will put it on 960 and show you. It looks like firecrackers bursting through the sky. But yeah, which mode? I mean, I can put us on the fly along mode. The camera is this way, no? Oh yeah, the fly along mode doesn't really fly along for quite a long. Ah, fuck. So this is fixed mode. I mean, it looks good, but I am not sure what mode I should put you guys on, so it... Oh yeah, chase mode would be lovely, I guess. Yeah, perfect. I found the perfect camera angle for you guys to see the flares, and then I would set it to random. Okay? What did you see? Did you see? It looks so insane. I'll put it on random right away. And then we make a turn. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to go over G or anything. I just want to show you guys the beautiful things that I see, that I explore in this game as well, you know? So yeah, you guys can see me right now, but it's because it's the random angles here. And by using these things, you can basically avoid missiles or cause ambiguity for missiles before they hit you, you know? I can see them on this mode, but you can see. Chaff low and flare low. So what we do now is basically we plan for land. But chaff and flares are empty, and yeah, I was gonna maybe try to show you low flyby with the mountains, but I guess we can just turn around and go home, you know? But that was a lovely little flight. That was a lovely little explanation of all the things that I wanted to show in this video. Oh, okay. Oof. Oh, we are quite close to the landing strip itself. So I guess what I can do is I will quickly fly a bit more distance, and then we go home. Okay, so I can make a perfect circle, you know? I can make a proper turn before we go home. Oh, I guess we have crosswinds or something. I'm not really sure if this game even has crosswinds, but yeah. So now I'll make you guys to my mode again. What I see basically, and we can try to make some nice close calls, maybe one close call. If I crash, I am sorry, but if I don't crash, then it's gonna be beautiful. I would add some music maybe if I don't crash. Let's see. Do you see how beautiful it looks? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go up. See how beautiful it looks. You know, I love it. I love that. I don't know, people told me that I would feel motion sick if I start doing things like this in the game, but I actually don't, and I feel really good about these things. I feel really good and confident while performing these close calls with mountains. I don't know, I just love it. I somehow just love it a lot. And this is not yet super close because again I lose quite a lot of frames while I am recording, but when I'm not recording it's like 20 more frames, I would say, or so, and it feels really amazing. It feels really good doing these things. So yeah, now let's go back for landing. I have to actually check where the landing strip would be. Just a second. I would put return to base, as I told again, you know. I keep telling you guys some quite good stuff. Oh yeah, we can see the base right there. Just right there. So I'll put you guys in a beautiful free fall mode, like a free random mode, so you guys can enjoy the nice beautiful camera angles of the flight while I try to land this plane down. Okay. I am sorry, I know the G-forces would literally kill me if I'm in a real plane because of how I fucking do shit. But sitting on a chair at home, the G-forces don't really apply. That's all I gotta say, you know? That's all I gotta say.
Landing gear. Landing
Oh,
gear.
oh, I didn't see how close I am to the airport, to the landing strip. It's gonna give me collision warning since I'm going on such a steep dive, you know? But hopefully I can bring it to the stop. It wasn't really the smoothest landing I have had, but yeah, it works. I just love landing plane on, you know, without causing an incident. As I say, anything without an incident is a good landing. So, we taxi back. I hope you like this video from today. I hope you find it informative. Because usually what happens is when I started as well, I wasn't sure why I can't take off using this plane vertically. Because, as I said, I did not know that weight constraint exists in a video game. But as you guys can see, they do. They do. I also tried to record a video before this where I failed because I was overweight. Like the total weight of the plane was higher than what it should have been for a vertical takeoff. And after that, I recorded this video by putting in less fuel on the loading screen when you load into a mission and arming myself with only 2 missiles just for the sake, you know. But you have to manage it. You have to manage the balance between the missile weight and the fuel weight and the overall weight, how you maintain it in your flight. If you want to have a vertical takeoff, if you wish to make a vertical takeoff, you have to keep these things in mind. If not, then you can just use the runway as usual. But I guess there is a mission with F-45 where you have to take off from a helipad, and in that mission I guess you have to manage your weight and stuff. So yeah, that was it for this video. I'll quickly taxi back and then I would say my goodbyes and
Over G.
ciao ciao. By the way, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. I really appreciate the support. I really appreciate the views, and the response has been tremendous, to be honest.
Ready to rearm and refuel.
Oh yeah, we do rearm and refuel. Yes, thank you. But I can't complain. Honestly, it has been amazing. The response on videos. I uploaded only 2 videos so far, and they have got over 300 views together, which I think is very cool. Which I really think is very cool, to be honest, because I did not expect these many views. A few people commented as well, which I found very interesting, which I found very supportive, and yeah, I appreciated that, but I would also appreciate a subscribe. So if you like it, please do subscribe, and maybe we can do a live stream or something once I build up a good PC. And what else? What else did I want to share with you guys? Oh yeah, of course, the animation of this thing. I show it to you every now and then, and I absolutely love it. I adore this thing. But yeah, so please do subscribe, and I bet a lot of you are new to the channel because I can see the ratio. I'll upload it somewhere here. The ratio of how many people are from my own channel who are subscribed, who are viewing this content, or who are not. And it's quite a lot of people. I guess 76% of people are just unsubscribed. So if you like it, only if you like it, please do subscribe. Please leave a like. And if possible, maybe don't dislike the video. I mean, nobody can see it other than me, but I feel bad when I see it. I'm like, oh mama, why? Why? But anyways, it's alright. And I hope you enjoy the content. I hope you like the video this time as well. And till next time, see you, ciao ciao, and bye bye.